If you are thinking of a bank that takes care of customers' needs by providing quality services with flexibility, reliability, and innovation, think Trust Bank Limited. With Trust Bank Limited mobile banking, you enjoy services such as balance inquiry, mini statement, funds transfer between accounts, exchange rates, mobile airtime top-up, stop ATM card, checkbook request, and PIN change. Our real-time gross settlement allows the customer to instruct the bank to transfer funds from their account to another account at another bank. Our expertise and experience in international banking is both legendary and the envy of the market. Retail banking, one bank, different amazing packages. Whether you are interested in savings account, current account, time or fixed deposit account, lending or overdraft, our team of dedicated staff is always ready and willing to help you out with your transactions as you wish. Corporate banking. Trust Bank Limited offer the most convenient services for deposit accounts, credit facilities, trade finance, bond and guarantee, and foreign currency account. With e-banking, you can make electronic bill payments and online banking and enjoy 24-hour access to your cash with our ATM. With the largest network of branches and agents, we give you the convenience to receive funds as you please. Trust Bank Limited, proudly Gambian.
fay lempo warugal la ci képp koo xam ne doomi réew mi nga ak ñu fi dëkk bu fekkee ne ci at mi sa koom-koom weesu na $2,400 dalasi mbete weer bu nekk di nga am lu tollu ci $2,000 dalasi lempo si la nguur gi di sukkandeku ngir liggéey yokkute réew mi GRA mooy banxaas bu nguuri Gambia sas ngir mu fayeku lépp luy lempo ci biir réew mi ba tax na GRA di yëgal faykati lempo yi ne warugal la pour ñu fay lu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment maanaam bépp contrat bu waay joxe te ci biir réew mi lañu toog kon xaalisi contrat bi ngeen nangotoo war nga cee wàññi ci xayma téeméer bu nekk fukka bu fekkee ne contracto bi dëkkut ci biir réew mi bu boobaa di nga war a wàññi téeméer bu nekk fukka ak juróom lii mooy lempo bu ñu naan withholding tax on contract payment lii mooy lempo bi nga xam ne yow mi joxe contrat warugal la nga wëlbatiku dem fay ko ci maakaani GRA tax office bu la gën a jege mbete ci banque yi GRA jagleel pour fay lempo war ngaa jébal lempo bi si diiri fukki fan ak juróom gannaaw bi nga wàññee ci xaalis si contrat bi amul benn contracto bu ñu teggil fay lempo bi xanaa mu fekk ne nguuri Gambia ñoo ko jégale boole si projet yi nga xam ne mbootaay ndimbali ñoo koy dépense GRA di fayeku lempo ngir yokk.
For the first time in the history of the Gambia, Gambia Printing Publishing Corporation proudly introduces the Billiomatic exercise book printing machine. The machine has the capacity to print more than 20,000 books per hour. Yes, 20,000 books per hour. It also prints magazines, newspapers, calendars, flyers, normal books, and all kinds of printed documents plus items at affordable prices. With the Billiomatic printing machine, GPPC can now render high quality and non-size restricted printing service supply across the sub-region. Rush now and partner with GPPC for all your public and private printing service needs. Print with us today and you'd be offered highly professional, reliable and efficient service delivery by our team of experts. The Gambia Printing and Publishing Corporation is here to meet all demands and is reliable at all times. For more info, contact us on 437-4493 or 437-4402. GPPC is Gambian and it's yours.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamcel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamcel, Yaibara.
This is Kerr Fatou. Fatou.
Hello and welcome to this special interview. Today you can see I'm not in my studios. I am here at Trust Bank, obviously proudly Gambian. We're going to talk to the Managing Director of Trust Bank Limited, the first female Managing Director for that matter. It's always a pleasure to have these first interviews with people like her because the significance of that is very important for the young girls out there who think they cannot come to these kind of positions. It's important to have Njilan on my show. Welcome to Kerr Fatou.
Thank you very much.
For the first time.
Thank you.
And I'm so happy we had to drag you on the show. I want to tell people how difficult it is to get somebody like you on camera.
The camera is not my friend.
In communication, connectivity is everything. We ensure that the links never sleep. Quantities and qualities, all in our data service, providing efficient, reliable voice and data service. We believe if you're not up to speed, then you're going backwards. Communications have to flow as fast as the speed of light. Whatever business you're in, having someone who understands your needs is critical. That is why we just don't offer you technology, we offer you solutions. Enjoy Gamcel's internet broadband anytime, anywhere. Your national operator, Gamcel, Yaibara.
For somebody like in your position, hardly does interview. I remember when we saw you on Paradise in those interviews, it was like, okay, really? She speaks? So tell us about yourself briefly. Who is Njilan Senghore?
Okay, let me start by introducing myself. My name is Njilan Senghore, obviously. My life kind of is very simple to explain, so I think I can do this in a minute. I went to school, in primary school at Mr. Ndao and Gambia High School, and then I had a couple of years stint in Nigeria because my dad was posted there as part of his job. Okay. And then we came back for another year at Gambia High School, and then I went to the UK. So I'm trained actually as an accountant. Oh. I am a fellow member of the Association of Accounting Technicians and a fellow member of the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. And I have a master's degree in business administration. And all of that was in the UK. So that's me academics-wise. Okay. And then job-wise, I did 8 years at Deloitte. So I think I started my career as an auditor. Okay. And then after 8 years, I moved to the bank. So I've been with the bank for 15 years. I started as a head of finance, also something that I did for the first 9 years. And then I was promoted to deputy managing director. I did that for another 5 years. Wow. And recently promoted to managing director.
Now, managing director for the first time, the bank, we'll be talking about celebrating 25 years. So you have spent almost above half of that period with the bank. How has it been like growing up and even going through the ranks in all these different areas to become today the managing director of the bank?
It's not been without challenges. The thing I like to say about banking is it certainly keeps you on your toes. I think I always say I left my old job because after a while I started to get bored. But you don't get to feel bored in this bank because you can start off with a really good day and then by afternoon something happens to spoil it. I was saying to somebody this morning that it was raining the other day and there was a lot of wind and I'm still on the job because I know some of our equipment, connectivity equipment and stuff are always at risk when it rains with thunder, lightning, storms. So you don't get to relax per se. So you're always on the go. And I find that exciting. So I guess that's why 15 years later, I'm still here. But like you said, I had an opportunity to occupy other positions before I became managing director. So it's given me the opportunity to learn on the job, to learn about the bank, learn more about the industry, be more in au fait with our customers and what they do. So I think it's made me more well-rounded to the point that now I feel like this new role is not daunting at all. I think with the number of years experience I've had, it's something that it's a challenge that I'm willing to take.
The Trust Bank is the longest serving, one of the longest serving banks in the country, 25 years. Yeah. This month, today, let's say you're celebrating 25 years in service. What has the journey been like for the bank?
Okay, so let me see if I can go back to how Trust Bank came to be. Trust Bank is actually the third reincarnation of the bank.
Wow.
We started off as Gambia Commercial and Development Bank, and then we became Meridian Bank. And then the parent company of Meridian Bank collapsed. And Central Bank came in and privatized Trust Bank and held the shares in Trust, hence the name Trust Bank.
Oh.
Yeah. So this was in 1997. It was incorporated and we started operations on 1st of October 1997. And in 1998, a central bank decided that they were going to privatize it. And they were going to do this by launching an IPO. So it would allow Gambians, ordinary Gambians, institutions to own shares and be the owners of Trust Bank. And that's what happened.
Is that why we say proudly owned by Proudly Gambian?
Yeah, yeah.
And what has been, from inception, what has been the main objective of the bank?
Well, like I said, because of the reincarnation of the bank over the years, it was very important that Trust Bank came to stay. We wanted to build a brand that was sustainable and would not continue to suffer the crisis of confidence caused by the collapse of the predecessors. So it was very important to us right from the beginning that we operate in a manner that ensured that the bank would remain viable for a very long time. And I think we've achieved that. Like you said, we are 25 years old now, and it hasn't been an easy task. But our objective, I guess the objective of any bank would be to help customers grow. That's our main objective. We are a commercial bank, and our objective, like I said, is to make sure that we provide opportunities for our customers to access finance, to be able to grow their businesses. Our objective is also to make sure we provide products and services that are innovative. We help government to make sure that the financial sector remains stable. This is a sector that is too big to fail.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be doing things that are going to make it vulnerable to failure. It's very important to us to comply with regulation and guidelines. It's very important to us also that our customers are provided with a bank that is big enough and strong enough to be able to help them. Like I said, depositors have to feel safe that when they bring their monies here, they're bringing it to a safe environment where when they want it back, we give it back to them because we're being very cautious with the investment decisions that we make. Yeah.
So how has, you said to help and also help businesses grow, how has Trust Bank been able to do that? I mean, I want to say Kerr Fatou is one of the success stories, but tell us some of the success stories the bank since inception has been able to achieve in terms of helping entrepreneurs, especially young entrepreneurs, grow and be success stories in the country.
Okay, so we hear all the time that banks in Gambia don't like to lend
Yeah.
to entrepreneurs. So entrepreneurs find it very difficult to access finance.
Yeah.
And I'm not even going to deny that, but I want to preface it and maybe put it in context. Commercial banks, and all of us are commercial banks in this country, are deposit-taking institutions. So we have a fiduciary responsibility to make sure that we protect depositors' funds.
Yeah.
When you say entrepreneurs, I want to categorize them into different boxes.
Okay.
I want to start with where the complaint comes from mostly, and that is from startups.
Yeah, startups.
Startups complain about difficulties in accessing finance.
Yeah.
Startups, by their very nature, are risky.
Yeah.
If you do the research, it will tell you that 90% of startups fail.
Yeah.
10% within the first year, and then 80% within 2 to 5 years. So they are risky investments. And because, like I said, we hold depositors' funds, which we have to protect. When a depositor walks in and says, I want my funds, you don't say, oh, no, I've given it to this person as a loan, so you have to wait.
Yeah.
So you have to make sure that you watch your numbers and you make sure that you're not creating that kind of risk. Now, in this environment, a lot of people say, I have collateral, therefore I should be able to access finance. And we are always at pains to explain that our credit assessment criteria goes beyond collateral. Collateral maybe is good to have as a backup in case a facility goes bad. But what we want to make sure is that the business has the capacity and the cash flow to be able to repay back whatever facility they take.
Yeah.
Now, a startup, you don't get any kind of assurance that they will because it's new.
Yeah.
There's no history to back them up. There's no way you can assess capacity.
Yeah.
Some of the applicants that we see don't even have capital. They want to finance businesses using bank loans, which is always a bad idea. They also don't have proper business plans, or if they do, in some cases, they could be misreading the market. They could be burning through whatever capital they have very quickly, and then the business obviously suffers. And a whole lot of other issues. So we say when we lend, we look at 5 C's. And the most important one, adequate capital. So you must find a way of getting capital. It cannot be through bank loans. Cash flow and capacity, we want to make sure that whatever business it is you're doing has the market and the ability to make money to be able to pay back the loan. We don't want to recklessly lend and hope that your business will survive. That's not what we want to do. But we also understand that young businesses, young entrepreneurs, they need assistance to be able to grow their businesses. So in as much as it is difficult, we try and see what we can do to advise you. Even if we cannot off the go give you money, we advise you on the things that you can do. And one of the things we're doing right now is we've partnered with the GAIN. GAIN is the Gambia Angel Investor Network.
Okay.
So what they do is they try and put together investors, people with excess cash that they want to invest in maybe longer term and look for longer term returns. They try to pair them with entrepreneurs. Industry experts, regulators, bankers like me, put them together in a platform. So we have networking events where we advise young entrepreneurs on how to go about their businesses. Going straight for bank loans is probably not the smartest idea. What you want to do is see if you can raise capital, either through family, friends, like I said, investors, people with excess liquidity willing to invest. You don't want to start your business by straight away increasing your financing costs when you don't even know whether you're going to have a market for your product or service. So when we say no to some businesses, it's not just no for no sake, but it's no because we've done our credit assessment and we feel that your business will not benefit from a bank loan at that point in time, that it's going to cause your business more harm than good. Something else we have done is we've realized that banking setup, banking requirements may be a little bit too intimidating for young businesses. Because we have to abide by international best practice when it comes to issues like compliance, when it comes to issues like capital requirements and, the things we ask for when we do our credit assessment, it may be a little bit daunting for certain businesses, especially those starting young.
Yeah.
So on that basis, we decided that we were going to create a subsidiary which would play in the microfinance field. And it would be maybe a more approachable institution for young businesses just starting out. So we created a subsidiary, a wholly owned subsidiary called BEBA.
Yes.
So when we have some entrepreneurs come in and make a request, if we feel that there's potential in your business and maybe you need financing, then we refer you to BEBA. And what we've done right now is, in fact, we've paired BEBA with GAIN. So GAIN, sometimes they're in touch with development partners who provide them with access to some money, which they are able to give as matching grants to businesses that can prove that they qualify. So it's our way of helping.
Well, that's a good initiative. Creating BEBA itself is a good initiative.
We don't just want to be irresponsible and just give out money, knowing that it's bad for your business. It's gonna go bad, and at the same time we're putting into jeopardy customer deposits. We don't want to do that. And in this environment, also, you need to understand that the funding base of banks is based on deposits. All deposits in this market are demand. Meaning that a customer can come in at any point to ask for their money back. Now, if you're funding businesses, most of the time what they need is long-term access to finance. So then that means what the bank is going to do is match short-term deposits against long-term debt, create an asset and liability mismatch. So you get to the point where you cannot pay your depositors when they ask for their monies back. So it's not as simple as people think.
Well, what are the other categories of entrepreneurs that the bank deal with? What is the quickest way of getting money from a bank?
First of all, your business needs to be established, and you need to be able to demonstrate that you have a market, you have a credible business, and it's already providing you cash flows. Capacity is important to us. Capacity to show that you can pay what you're borrowing. So we have some businesses that we've grown with from a very small level. One of our biggest borrowers always tells me that he started with Gambia Commercial and Development Bank, and I think he keeps telling me that I started with 100,000. Wow! And now he's able to access credit in the hundreds of millions because we've grown his business. So. By doing that, we've also realized that it creates loyalty. We have very, very loyal customers, and it doesn't matter how many banks come new into the market, they cannot be lured because they remember that in their time of need, we were able to work with them. But the entrepreneurs have to also be willing to listen to bank advice. Sometimes you may be very good at what you do, very technical, you have your thoughts well put together, but they are of no use if your product and service is not going to sell. And they are of no use if you're going to get yourself strangled in debt, or you're going to burn through your capital so quickly that you will not be able to visualize a lot of what you had in mind. So we that's why I say I like to compartmentalize entrepreneurs into different boxes, because it's different. It's different. We'd like to work with each one to see where we can assist. Where we cannot assist financially, then we provide technical advice and expertise. I have a finance background. Our deputy managing director has a finance background, and I think at least 4 members of our credit committee are also finance people. So we kind of have some value to add to our customers by advising them.
The biggest chunk of also that I see, I don't know how you see it, of Trust Bank is civil servants and all the ordinary folks, because by the end of month you go to Trust Bank, you cannot even have access. Why has Trust Bank been able to attract that cadre of people? What is it that you offer to that cadre of people that they are still loyal to the bank up to today? I remember when I was in Gamtel, it was always Trust Bank. You go at the end of the month to access your salary, you queue the whole time because there are so many people there, and it's still the same. Why has that been up to now?
You're right. And I remember this one time when the government decided they were not going to pay cash over the counter anymore and pushed all of them out to go and open bank accounts. I remember going downstairs and the banking hall was so full of people waiting to open accounts, to the point where some of them were even sitting on the floor.
Wow.
And I was like, what's going on? They said they're here for account opening. And it made me very sentimental. Fatou, in short, we are the Gambian bank. And that means we live what they live. One of our customers came here once and said he wanted an overdraft. And I remember the branch manager saying, he told him, I don't know if you have room in your account. He said, I know you can do something because tomorrow is Tamharid. And I know when I tell you tomorrow is Tamharid, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
While somebody else may not understand or appreciate, or that my wife had a baby or something.
Yeah.
We always find a way. We always find a way to assist. Our customers are very important to us because we understand that we cannot operate in a vacuum where we don't care about what Gambians are going through. And for us, it's just a business. We just earn some money and that's it. That's not what we want. To build loyalty. We want to make sure that we are relevant in the life of Gambians. I say to my marketing guys all the time that marketing is not about billboards or advertisement. Marketing is about the feelings and the emotions that you elicit in your customers. Yeah. If they think about an issue and they think, I'll run to Trust Bank tomorrow because I know they can solve it for me, then for me that is a job well done as far as marketing is concerned. And that's the way we all operate. Yeah. So I guess we know people in our communities. We know people in the different business communities. They know at least one member of staff who they are very comfortable with. And when they have problems, they come here and tell us. And I guess they see the way that we try in whatever way we can to assist, whether it's going to be through the bank. Personally, I remember sometimes when I'm not too busy, I go downstairs and get help. And I remember once I went and this guy came in and said he wanted an overdraft. And I looked at his account and the account was in such a state. I'm like, I cannot sign an overdraft for you. You cannot accommodate, you cannot accommodate it. And he said, but ma'am, I cannot go home. There's no rice in my house. So I took my bag and I took some money out and I gave it to him. And one of my staff said to me, this is not the place for you. You need to go back to your office. You have to go back. You need to go back to your office. Yeah. But that's not unique to me. Yeah. That's not unique to me. I mean, I cannot let a customer leave the bank knowing that he's going to go home without his bag of rice. Yeah.
I mean, I remember personally, I'll share this anecdote whenever I call my account manager, Ismaila, and he said, Ismaila, I want this. I'm like, I don't care. I know I'm going to fix it. I don't care. Yeah. And it has always been fixed. You know, whenever when I go to this place, there's going to be a way out all the time. Yeah. Is that a reason why people always come back? Because they always know there's no way I'm going to be turned back, because you know the level of the customers, but you also know their loyalty. Yeah. And there's almost 90% is always, okay, we can do this. We cannot do all of it, but we're able to do this. Yeah. Yeah. Have you at one point sat here on your desk and have to decide to say no to somebody that you know doesn't feel the requirements of what the bank is looking at, but you know they're in their need of that financial assistance? Yeah.
So we have an open door policy. I mean, unless I am in a meeting or occupied, you're guaranteed to see me when you come. So I guess that human touch, that being approachable also helps. Like I said, we will try to solve your problem, but if we cannot solve your problem, at least you will not leave without some valuable advice. Wow.
Yeah. Now, the Trust Bank 25 years ago today is different from all the different services, online banking, SMS alerts, and all the different services that you offer. I know one key component that is also important is the diasporans who bank with the bank. How easy is it for a Gambian outside to be able to bank with Trust Bank? How easy is it for those in the diaspora to be able to transfer funds into their accounts here?
Over the last 25 years, we've realized that growing our branch network was not the most important thing. We're talking about modern banking times where people need to be able to access their accounts instantly at the touch of a button. So we kind of slowed down on the growth of our branch network. We started with 3 branches. We now have 18. We have not stopped growing it because there are some regions in the Gambia that we still want to be in. But we decided that it was important to keep ourselves in line with modern banking expectations. So now we have online digital delivery channels, SMS banking, mobile banking, online banking. And how easy is it for customers to onboard with us? Very easy. We have a website with all of our account opening forms and requirements. All you have to do is complete it. The requirements are indicated, send it. We have a team that is constantly monitoring account opening requests that are coming online, and it's processed. Account opening, though, has become more difficult.
More difficult,
yeah, because it's a requirement of our times. You know, compliance has become such a big issue right now. Before, I think we had a one-page account opening form. Now it's like a book.
Yes.
That is the only difficulty. But I guess you'll find that in every bank everywhere in the world, because compliance standards call for it. But yeah, it's easy to open accounts no matter where you are. It's easy to remit monies no matter where you are. It's no issue. And you're able to monitor your accounts because you have access to all these digital delivery channels. So you can make transfers, you can buy cash power, you can pay some bills. So yeah, it's all of this is done in a bid to make sure that we are not just serving a local market. Our customers have become more diverse.
What is your personal assessment of the banking sector right now? We are faced with threats of recession in the global market. Interest rates, you know, I don't know exactly what the Gambia is, but I know across the world things are really tough because of the Ukraine war and the COVID-19. What is your assessment of the banking sector in the Gambia?
I think the banking sector is pretty strong. I mean, COVID came and it did cause some issues with the sector, but I think all the banks were adequately capitalized and they had resilient balance sheets and they were able to survive it. Personally, as a bank, we realized when COVID hit that some of our customers were going to be hard hit. And obviously we had exposures with these customers. But it was our responsibility to make sure that we cooperated with them and made it easier for them to be able to survive the tough times. So we did things like payment holidays, we reduced interest rates. Even the central bank advocated for interest rates to be reduced, which we did. But we didn't even wait for the central bank to do that because there's no point in charging high interest rates to a business that is surviving and then we end up in the courts to do recovery. So even, I mean, at our level, we had already come to the decision that that needed to happen. And we also realized that a lot of businesses who previously may not have needed financing all of a sudden did because they had salaries to pay, they had expenses, and income was not what it used to be. So what we decided to do was to reduce interest rates and expand the loan book, make access, give access to more people to be able to apply for loans. And so far, we have not seen any default as a result of COVID. We've been able to sustain a lot of the businesses that were in tough times during the COVID period. It's not over yet. I mean, those especially in the tourism sector, they're still struggling, but we'll get through it together.
We'll get through it together. Yeah. Now, 25 years in the business, what else is there for Trust Bank to do, especially expansion and also helping more customers have access to finance?
We will continue to do what we are doing. I mean, I think that much is standard. We have probably the largest customer base in this country. I think the statistics will back that up.
Yeah.
We have the highest loan book in the industry. I think we are 1/3 of industry loans is Trust Bank. So that means that we take our responsibilities to make sure we participate in financial intermediation very seriously. For a lot of banks, because of the risks associated with lending, they kind of like to stay away from it and maybe just stay with risk-free investments. But we are Gambians. Who else will help Gambian industries, companies grow? It's our responsibility. And you do have problems.
Yeah.
It's not always without risk, but we try to make sure that we do our credit assessment so well that the incidence of default are low. We have one of the lowest loan to deposit rate, not loan to deposit. We have one of the lowest non-performing loan ratios in the industry, consistently below 1% for the last few years, even with the fact that our loan book is the highest in the industry.
Wow.
So then that means that we are not reckless with our lending. Yeah, it's done with utmost due diligence.
Yeah. So recently we saw you present a check of $1 million to the government of the Gambia for onward delivery to the national disaster victims. This is part of your corporate social responsibilities. Yeah. Why was that important for the bank?
Okay, so we have a corporate social responsibility program that's grounded on the principles of sharing and caring. We never wait to be invited.
Because I didn't see like an appeal that was put forward for everyone.
It is very important to us that we make the first move every time we see that there's a need for intervention.
Yeah.
So we never wait to be invited. Something happens and it affects Gambians. We're almost 400 staff in this bank, and I think except for one, all the rest of us are Gambians. So when something bad happens in this country, rest assured it has affected somebody we know. Family, friend, neighbor. Rest assured it will affect somebody we know. Yeah. So you cannot help people individually because then that's going to be difficult to implement. So we find a way of assisting through government. This is not our first interaction with NDMA. Every year when there's an issue, windstorm, floods, fires, we intervene. Every year we go around on a donation drive in the last quarter of every year, and we've been doing this for the last 18 years, I believe. We set aside an amount and we go around the different hospitals in the country and donate. It's not cash, but we ask you what you need.
Yeah.
So you give us your wish list. It could be drugs, it could be lab equipment, it could be beds, nets, bed sheets. Wow. It doesn't matter what it is.
And you lead the team yourself?
I lead the team myself.
Yeah.
We go around, we go to Greater Banjul area, Basse, Bansang, Farafenye. We go everywhere. Wow. Because we want to make sure that they see the human face behind the bank. I mean, even in areas, we're not in Bansang. Even in areas where we are not, we know that people know about Trust Bank. So we want to show you that Proudly Gambian is not just a gimmick. It's not. For us, it's very, very important. If we could fix all the problems in Gambia, we would. But in our own little way, we will try to do whatever we have. So we have a big CSR budget. And sometimes come close to end of year, we've exhausted it and something happens and we are like, we have to find the money somewhere. But we have to help. Wow. We have to help.
Okay. Yeah. And finally, 25 years you were celebrating throughout this week. Tell us, what are some of the activities that you're going to embark on in celebrating the bank's 25 years in existence?
Okay, so we've achieved quite a lot over the 25 years, and we've achieved it without too much fanfare. I mean, you hardly hear or see us in the news making noise about the things we do. Yeah. But we just thought a Silver Jubilee was worth some fanfare.
Yeah.
So we have quite a few events lined up. Key amongst those is another donation drive. No. So in the last quarter of this year, you'll be seeing us out a lot in the news, giving out donations to different institutions. We have a gala event. Yeah. And the idea is we cannot invite all of our customer base. Yeah. We have a big customer base, but just to invite a few of our customers and sit them together with our staff so that we can just interact and be merry and just celebrate. You know, just stop once in a while to give yourself a pat on the back. It has been a long journey, and maybe I can just share some quick statistics about where we've come from and where
you are today.
We started with a balance sheet of maybe about 100 million. Right now, we're about $12 billion.
Wow.
We started with 3 branches. Now we're at 18. We started with 0 digital platform. Now we have just about everything that there is to have in terms of products and services that are modern and customers expect you to have right now. In terms of CSR, we have given in excess of $50 million
Wow.
in donations over the period. I mean, I'm not sure any other bank can match that. But like I said, CSR is an important pillar for us.
You're truly the Gambian bank.
Well, we hope we're perceived as such. So it has been a challenging 25 years. It has not always been easy.
What were the biggest challenges of the bank over the past 25 years?
Okay, our biggest challenge is being a standalone bank, because it makes it more difficult for us to access certain things like correspondent banking services. The entire world right now is scared of its shadow when it comes to financing terrorism acts and things like that. So compliance is very big. And what really affects us most is that the country rating is not very good when it comes to compliance. So in terms of country rating, Gambia is not rated very highly. So we are challenged to be able to offer international banking services as a bank that is part of a group would. So we have limitations in that area. That's our biggest headache right now. But we accept our weaknesses. And what we do is we try to make sure that we capitalize on what we are good at. And what we are good at is being the best bank locally for Gambians, providing local liquidity, providing access to finance. We are also trying to get footprints into other regions. So we've invested in a bank in Liberia. And the idea is bit by bit have a reach in different African countries so that we can move away from being proudly Gambian to proudly African.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's the ultimate aim. But like I said, it's never easy. We wake up every day to new challenges. I was saying the other day that sometimes when we're in the news for the wrong reason, I wish people would know the impact it has immediately on us.
Yeah.
You wake up to the news maybe that Trust Bank did this negatively.
Yeah.
Following morning, guaranteed your correspondent bank will call you and say, respond to the adverse media. Yeah. So we try to be in the news for the good reasons.
And that is very important. How does that affect the bank's how do you call it, investments and others? You know, bad press. Is it really, does it affect the capital, or is just the image?
Bad press affects the image as well as the ability to do transactions. And it's not just bad press on us, but even bad press on our customers. We call it adverse media. So if we're in the news for the wrong reasons, or our customers are in the news for the wrong reasons, correspondent banks react to that. And they make you explain or give your response to whatever issues have been raised. And sometimes it's very difficult to react to speculation or false accusations. So, but yeah. So, but we're in the age of social media, so you cannot avoid those things. But that is even more reason why we try to make sure that we up our game in terms of being able to deliver stellar service to our customers so that we are not in the news for the wrong reasons. And right now, we've put telephone numbers everywhere in the branches. If you feel you're not getting the right kind of service, call us. We're the ones to fix it. So I'm not on social media. So if you go and post it on social media, I'm not going to see it.
Yeah.
But if you call me, I'll see it and I'll fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're just kind of just rolling with the punches when they come. But
I mean, I think one of the few things that I see is a lot of people say, oh, the queue is long. Is it because you have so many customers, or is it because there's always a lot of tellers out there? I think that is because of the volume of the customers.
You know, I told you before that we decided that brick and mortar was no longer the main focus for us. So we've invested in a lot of digital ATMs and all that rest of it. our customers don't use it.
They don't?
They don't. Most of the time, those who are queuing in the banking halls, it's just for cash withdrawals. And we would like it if they really utilized the products and services that we have developed for them. They will tell you, no, Manlila mean. This is what I'm used to, because they've developed relationships in the branches. Yeah. So I guess it's and most of them, they come once a month to cash a check. So they don't want to kind of,
they want to have that connection.
They want to have that connection. So it's like, I guess it's the loyalty you talked about. It's like, I have an auntie who will call me and say, I'm coming to the bank to cash a check. I'm like, use your ATM. You know, why do you want to come up? Because she comes and sees me and we have a banter for 5 minutes. And so for her, that is more important than a quick service by using the ATMs. Wow. So we keep on developing these products and services, and usage is not where we would want to.
I think it's more of the culture. People feel like, I mean, if you tell my grandma to go to the ATM, she said, no, not go to a bank.
Yeah. I tell you, even my own relatives, I have so many of them. Every month, they will religiously come to the bank to physically cash a check. I'm like, why?
Do you think there should be more sensitization about that also, for people to understand your money in the bank and the one in the ATM
is the same,
and it's quicker for you even?
Well, we have been, but I guess we should just keep on doing it. Yeah, we should just keep on doing it. Now it's very easy to survive without cash.
Yeah.
I mean, if I leave my wallet at home and come to work, I will not go back for it, because I know I have my phone and I can do most of my transactions on my phone.
Yeah.
But if I come to work without my phone, I will go back for it, because that's where I do a lot of my stuff. And that's the kind of level we want our customers to reach, to say, who needs cash? Who needs a checkbook? You know, I can pay people, I can transfer monies, I can buy cash, power, credit, whatever I need, I can do it on my phone. And the bank has provided all of that for me. So, but they love us. They want to come here and see us. So that's okay.
That's okay. And we'll encourage people to definitely use this service, because the services are actually for them. So it's important people
the services are for them, and at great cost too, I might add. But change maybe is not easy for everybody. So we just have to work with them and make sure that we encourage them to use them more. But
on a personal note, representation matters. When young people, when young women see somebody like you in a male-dominated field, the first managing director of this bank, the biggest bank in the country, but among few female managing directors in the entire sector, why do you think it's important for every girl out there in Fatoto, Farato, in Lamen to watch this interview and think it is possible for them?
That's a good question. Let me tell you, my dad has 4 kids, 2 boys and 2 girls. And growing up, there was no bias. My brothers and my sister and I had access to the same things, same quality of education, same everything. So growing up, my performance in school or when I started working on the job, for me, it was not hailed or celebrated, because I grew up in the kind of environment where it was an expectation, because the playing field was level. So I didn't care about gender, or gender was not an issue growing up. So when I got to the corporate world, that is when I started to realize that, you know, gender is important.
It is.
It is important in our environment. And I keep saying, I'm usually an introvert. I like to stay behind the scenes and not be celebrated. But I always say that if me going out there and speaking is going to motivate a girl child sitting somewhere to aspire to be like me or better than me, then let's do it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We need to.
We need to.
I look at this global gender gap report every year. I think it benchmarks 153 countries, I think, against 4 thematic areas. I think, if I remember correctly, it's economic participation, health and survival, educational attainment, and what's the other one? political empowerment. Gambia does not rank very high. It ranks, I think, about, the latest one is 121 out of 153 countries. And the worst ranking, believe it or not, is educational attainment. So I say to myself, okay, all this while I've been in my little bubble saying there's no discrimination as far as education is concerned. But that is my family.
Yeah.
There are other girls out there who don't have access to what I had and who are disadvantaged.
Yeah.
Until we get to the stage where fathers don't discriminate against the girl child and the boy child, then there is still a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Until fathers start sending girl child and boy child to the same standard of school and educating the girl child to the level that they want to reach and not just preparing them for marriage at a certain age, then there is a lot of work to do. Until men stop marrying multiple wives because their current wives only have girls, there's a lot of work to do. So I do realize that I have to stop thinking about me and my achievements in my little bubble and saying it's nothing special, and admit that some girls need to hear it.
Yes.
They need to hear my story so that they also aspire. It's not easy. And even though I didn't face discrimination as far as family was concerned, as far as growing up was concerned, when you get to the big bad corporate world, there's a lot of it.
There is.
There is a lot of it. Yeah. So it is important for girls to see how we navigate around these new challenges. The other day, I had a customer call me and screamed at me for something that one of my staff did, and then put the phone down on me. And I was like, I'm pretty sure that would not have happened to either of my predecessors. You know, it's happening because I'm a female. I've had somebody call me and say, I want to speak to the managing director. And I said, you're speaking to the managing director? He said, no. I said the managing director. Yeah. I was like, okay. I am the managing director, actually. Yeah. So it's unfortunate that sometimes you do feel that your gender is treated with less respect.
Yeah.
But what do? You do. I mean,
you leave marks wherever you go.
It is what it is. Yeah. And it is a reflection on men if they cannot accept women in positions of power. It's a reflection on them and not me. Yeah. But it is there. Bias is there. It is the reality.
Yeah. And I hope this interview inspires just one girl out there who was sitting thinking she cannot get to positions like this.
Yeah. In fact, what I'm doing right now is I've joined a team of women, and we do participate in mentoring young girls. We try to catch them when they are still in the middle school system, middle school, high school, just to try and, teach them that there's a lot they can do in this world. They should not be programmed to think that this is where they can stop, and then the next thing for them is marriage. It does not matter what you do, whether it's the boardroom or the farm or a shop. It doesn't matter what you do. But whatever it is, we just want to encourage you to give it your best and make sure that when they call people in that category, your name is one of those. And that's what we're trying to achieve. It's not always easy because if you don't catch them young, they've already been programmed.
Yeah.
And the foundation is not always there. But we're just starting new, so
great.
Maybe
great
we will
initiative.
be able.
Great initiative. Finally, what's your message to your over 400 staff in general for 25 years of dedication and service, but to the general Trust Bank family, me and all the many customers who have been really very grateful for the existence of this bank that has helped some of us in growing to where we are today. What is your message?
Okay, let me start with my staff. Fatou, I have a wonderful team, a very supportive team. My management team is probably the youngest this bank has ever seen. I think average age should be maybe late, somewhere mid-30s. And they're all very, very experienced and very loyal to this bank. It is not unusual for us all to be here till night time, and then we are back here first thing tomorrow morning because there's an issue that needs to be handled. It's not unusual to come in and we are all blurry-eyed because we didn't sleep because there's an issue. So we find it very difficult to even disengage at the end of the day and say our work is over now, it's family time, so let me not worry about the bank, because we are that intertwined with everything that is going on in this bank. The level of sacrifice is amazing. The support is amazing. And that goes for the entire staff. I remember there was a day we had a connectivity challenge, so the tellers couldn't finish posting. And they were here till 4 a.m. And the drivers were here waiting for them to finish, to ferry them home to change. So they went home at 4 a.m. and by 8 o'clock they were back here sitting and ready to serve customers. And isn't that dedication?
That is dedication.
And there's no amount of money that can compensate or pay somebody for that level of dedication. So we can only thank them. Trust Bank is our baby. It has survived for 25 years and it will not collapse under our watch. And I know that with the team that I have right now, that is achievable. So I cannot thank them enough. I mean, whatever I say to my staff is not going to do justice to how I feel.
Yeah.
Our customers, wow, some of them, they have been lured and tempted by other banks to go and do business with them, and they have resisted every step of the way. Even where we have challenges serving them, e.g. in areas of international banking, they find a way. I remember some of them, I say, oh, I cannot make this settlement for you in dollars because we cannot do dollars to this destination. I say, oh, can you change it to euros then? I'll tell my supplier to send me the invoice in euros. You know, so it shows that they're determined to work with us no matter our challenges. And that is why we go above and beyond. Whatever we can do to also help their businesses, we do. And we've developed relationships over the years that are pretty special to us. And this gala is just meant to just bring them on board and say, thank you. Thank you for your business for the last 25 years, where you have a choice, you have options, you decided to stay with us, and we appreciate that. We have received support, I must say, from all quarters, from the regulators, from our board of directors, customers, shareholders. The issues that we have that are not within our control, those are the ones that are challenging to manage. But as far as managing our people is concerned, really, I don't think we have been challenged in that area in any way. We are not perfect. We don't always give stellar service. And sometimes I know in the press especially, there's some bad press because of poor customer service. We certainly don't tell our staff to treat people that way. And we don't condone it. And when we are aware of it, we fix it. So we continue to encourage people to demand for the best kind of service. And if they don't get it, they should keep us in the know. We will fix it.
You will fix it.
Yeah, and you don't need to scream at me when you call. I'll fix it either way.
Fix it either way. Thank you very much, Njilan. This was a very good conversation, and we want to wish you a happy Silver Jubilee.
Thank you very much.
And the entire staff.
Thank
you for the service to the many customers that proudly feel Gambian to be part of this big family of Trust Bank.
Thank you. Thank you very much. And I want to thank you for being the first to convince me to do this interview.
Actually, people should know what I did to get you on this chair.
I have resisted, but I think...
and I kept pushing.
You kept pushing. Yeah, you kept
And
pushing.
I had to go through everybody, from Alex to Mr. Boom, everyone. I'm like, she has to do this one.
I know.
But it was great having this conversation. I'm sure you know, look at how easy it was. Because you know the sector, you know what 15 years is not 15 days.
Yeah.
So it went well.
It did, I hope.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you also.
And to those watching, thank you very much for watching, and good night to you all, and see you next week. Bye-bye.
Better and stronger as the sole ground operator at the Banjul International Airport. With an expansion in travel services, customers are assured of GIA's capacity to cater for all their travel needs, provided by professional, experienced, and ever-smiling staff. GIA's Hajj package and services, by far the best in the country, give the customers the opportunity for a memorable Hajj experience. For a more efficient cargo services, GIA means business as it launches its new multi-million-dollar ultra-modern cargo complex to revitalize and stimulate air transport. GIA, the pride of the Gambia.
Every day is a new opportunity to make sure our first impressions are always our best and to see possibilities on the horizon. To make our facilities and services more accessible and find freedom all around us. With a location proximity to active markets with a liberal air transportation policy. That daily pursuit is how we turn everyday opportunities for you. For all destination marketing support, customized packages for new existing airlines and operators, and for a highly ranked tourist destination, the Gambia Civil Aviation Authority is here to serve. We regulate air transport, operate and manage BIA technical requirements merged with commercial considerations. We have experienced and well-trained aviation professionals to cater for your needs. For investment opportunities in building airport hotels, shopping malls, playground for children, do contact us on 4472-831, 4472-893. Gambia Civil Aviation Authority. We go beyond daily.